Right now, polling locations have made health and safety changes for voters casting their ballot in person today. We'll have a live report. And residents across the Midwest are cleaning up damage from yesterday's rare storm.
This is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for joining us. It is Election Day. Despite hosting an election in the midst of the coronavirus, voters are still headed to the polls to cast their votes. Our Gabriella Becerra joins us from a polling place location in downtown Madison to share how it's going. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, Mark. We're at the top of State Street near Ian's Pizza. It's the polling location for voters in Ward 49. Now, it's been pretty quiet like it is right now, but some voters have stopped by, some even dropping off absentee ballots. The National Guard is staffing polling places amid the coronavirus pandemic today. One voter tells us the process went smoothly. She says she walked right in with her mask on. There was glass between everyone she talked to, and all of the pens she touched were sanitized. She tells us that although it seems like it's a difficult time to get out and vote, it's not impossible.
It's important because, I mean, first of all, being a young voter, we have to share our voice, and it's hard to get your vote in right now. It might seem like that, but it's really not actually that difficult. Whether you don't have time for an absentee or don't have time to get it or mail it in, there's options here, and they're safe.
The polls opened at 7 a.m. and they'll stay open until 8 o'clock tonight. And so for those who do decide to stop by, masks are highly encouraged, but they're not required. Stay with us at News 3 Now this evening. We'll share all the safety precautions the city is taking this year amid the coronavirus pandemic.
All right, Gabby, thank you. Amidst the pandemic, thousands of people have already submitted their absentee ballots. To see what's on your ballot before you go, visit myvote.wi.gov. Our political reporter Amy Reed has interviews with candidates for some of the most contested races in our area. You can find those on channel3000.com. Republicans are beginning their push to build veto-proof majorities in the Wisconsin legislature. The GOP is looking to flip 6 legislative seats in November and win a veto-proof 2/3 majority in each house. Today's primary election narrows down the candidates and sets the stage for November. Governor Tony Evers and U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin will speak during next week's Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee. The 4-day event to formally nominate Joe Biden as the Democratic candidate for president has been scaled back to nearly all virtual due to COVID-19. U.S. Representative Gwen Moore will speak on Monday night. Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett will call the convention to order on Tuesday. Governor Evers is slated to speak Wednesday night, and Senator Baldwin will speak on Thursday, leading up to Biden's acceptance speech. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first warned forecast. A little quieter today than yesterday.
What a difference 24 hours can make. It's why I do weather. It's so exciting just to see how quickly weather can change sometimes. Yesterday we had those showers of thunderstorms really beginning to move in as really that system went 0 to 100 literally in terms of wind speeds quickly. But today things are much quiet, or much more quiet across parts of the upper Midwest. Still a couple of storms throughout parts of the Dakotas and down throughout parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, and Arkansas. But I'm not expecting that to influence us at all. We're going to keep a high pressure overhead. That means blue skies will stay our story today, and that's how we like it. 78 is what we're seeing in terms of temperature right now. Winds are out of the north and northeast at 3 miles per hour. Janesville is a degree warmer at 79. Boscobel at 80. Still a lot of upper 70s, though, are showing up across parts of southern Wisconsin. We're going to warm up into the low 80s as we go into the afternoon. Expect that high right around 82 mark, and then we're going to keep more sunshine in the forecast. We'll talk that next chance of showers and thunderstorms in just a bit.
Enjoy today, that's for sure. All right, Chris, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Half a dozen states in the Midwest, including here in Wisconsin, are cleaning up this morning after a rare storm with, as Chris mentioned, 100-mile-per-hour winds tore across hundreds of miles. The so-called derecho packed the power of a hurricane 1,000 miles from any ocean. The storm left hundreds of thousands without power in Iowa and uprooted trees and downed power lines in Wisconsin. Huge branches crashed into streets and houses. One Platteville resident said the winds came without warning.
I was hearing all these different sounds. I turned and looked out the window and realized it was full frontal force of the storm coming in.
Emergency crews worked to right a semi-truck overturned on the highway. The storm also uprooted trees in Chicago and more than 100 miles away in Moline, Illinois. The National Weather Service in Milwaukee says, according to preliminary information, their storm survey crew found damage consistent with a high-end EF0 tornado in Lake Geneva yesterday. There were winds up to 80 miles per hour, snapping tree limbs and trunks. They'll be sending a damage survey team out today to Lake Geneva, Union Grove, and Camp Lake. New at noon, Madison police say teens who were driving recklessly in a stolen SUV narrowly missed a mother and her 5-year-old child who were crossing the street this morning. It happened on Mineral Point Road near Glenway Golf Course. Police say the teens then slammed into an oncoming SUV, sending the driver to the hospital with head and leg injuries. There were at least 2 people in the stolen Jeep. They all ran off after the crash. One 13-year-old passenger ended up in the hospital after collapsing in a nearby yard after hitting his head on the windshield during the crash. A canine search for the other suspects turned up empty, that is. Police say they found a number of garage door openers, car keys, IDs, and cell phones inside the stolen car. An outraged California community is asking why sheriff's deputies pointed guns at 3 black teenagers who said a man chased them with a knife. Desperate bystanders pleaded with deputies to stand down. Each of the teens obeyed deputies' commands to walk back toward them with their hands raised. They were handcuffed, but eventually released. The mother of one of the boys described the moment she first saw the video.
I just started crying. I was screaming because I wasn't there for my son, and I knew he was afraid, but he followed everything that I had taught him to do if he ever got in a situation like that.
The boys say they were waiting at a bus stop in the Santa Clarita Valley when a homeless man tried to stab them. They say they fended off the attack using their skateboards as shields. The LA County Sheriff's Department says deputies were responding to a report that 2 male black adults hit a victim with a skateboard, but that the victim could not be located. Witnesses at the scene corroborated the teen's story. Coronavirus cases and hospitalizations are on the decline nationwide from 2 weeks ago, but in some areas, cases are still high. Kentucky's governor is now recommending schools in his state postpone in-person classes until late September, noting an increasing number of cases over the last month. Hospitalizations are decreasing in Florida, and in LA, hospitalizations and deaths have stabilized. Today, we're expecting an official decision from the Big Ten about whether to postpone the upcoming college football season. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Mac and cheese made on a cookie sheet? Sounds crazy, but it's not. As a matter of fact, it's all the rage.
What if I told you that hiring Bowler & Vaughn after an injury is free, and we don't get paid unless you do?
Really? Is that true?
It is true. Your first call is free, and we don't get paid until you do.
Seriously injured? Call Bowler & Vaughn.
Joe Biden says,
if you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
That means middle-class families, small businesses, and seniors pay higher taxes. It's the biggest tax increase in history.
Citizenship for 11 million undocumented folks.
That means 11 million illegal immigrants competing for American jobs, eligible for free health care, Social Security, and Medicare. America can't afford Joe Biden.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You know your gutters are full of gunk, and you know you need to deal with it eventually. With LeafGuard, you can give up cleaning your gutters forever. Hi, I'm Andrew Larson, owner of Larson Home Services. My team would love to show you how LeafGuard's patented design channels rainwater into your gutters while leaves, seeds, and other debris just roll off, leaving them clog-free, guaranteed.
We looked at several different types of gutters, and we knew that we had problems with leaves. We have lots of trees around our house, and I'm the one who goes and cleans out the gutters, and I wanted to eliminate that hassle in the fall of cleaning the gutters, and LeafGuard has done a wonderful job.
Love to hear that. Right now, your LeafGuard brand gutter system comes with some great money-saving extras. Order now and save 75% on installation labor, get free financing for a year, and a $100 Visa gift card. Call to set up your free estimate today.
Aloha, I'm Gary Canolti, inviting News 3 Now viewers to join me on a fabulous tour to the Hawaiian Islands, October 14th to the 23rd. Spend 3 nights on Oahu near famous Waikiki Beach, 2 nights on the scenic Garden Isle of Kauai, and 3 nights on Kanapali Beach in Maui. Enjoy a Polynesian luau with traditional food and dance, and visit the Maui Tropical Plantation. All airfare, deluxe resorts, and more included. For more information, call Holiday Vacations at 1-800-826-2266.
When a student falls behind, a good teacher helps them catch up. A bad president would tie their hands, like Joe Biden would. Even with hundreds of public schools closed indefinitely, Biden opposes emergency parental choice grants, preventing parents from choosing options like private tutoring or charter schools if their public school is closed. A lost year is unacceptable, but 4 under Biden, that's a lost generation. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When it comes to making dinner, I think there are a few things that we would all agree on. It's got to be easy, it's got to taste good, and cleanup should be a breeze. With that said, I'm so excited to share with you something called sheet pan cooking. And today, we're making one of our ultimate comfort foods, sheet pan style. We start by cooking some elbow macaroni like normal and draining it really well. While that sits, we combine some cheddar cheese soup, a good amount of milk, lots of shredded cheddar cheese, a bit of butter, and a few spices. After the cheese melts, we take the pot off the heat and slowly stir in a few eggs, along with our cooked pasta. Once this is mixed, it gets spread onto a rim baking sheet and topped with more cheese and some crackers that we mix with a bit of melted butter. When this comes out of the oven all cheesy, delicious, with the edges crispy, it's ready to cut into squares. So if you want to get in on the latest cooking craze, why not start with our sheet pan mac and cheese? And as always, to get the recipe, simply visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a new twist on an old classic way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Next at noon, sunny and much calmer outside today. That sunshine will stick around for a bit before our next chance of rain. Chris will have your first warn forecast next.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
You wouldn't pour OJ this way. And you don't have to pour paint this way either. Try Dutch Boy Platinum Plus paint in the twist and pour container with a built-in spout. Easy to hold, open, and pour.
Right now at Menards, get 11% off everything, including Dutch Boy paint.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
She was the most welcoming person you could ever imagine. Her home was the safe place. It was difficult to comprehend how quickly everything kind of spiraled downwards. We didn't even know that she had COVID till a week later in her passing. The president made a huge mistake in downplaying this virus. There was a lack of leadership, a lack of responsibility, and a lack of resources. I felt like our elderly have not been a priority for this administration, that they don't matter. And I feel like my grandmother didn't matter. The last time I saw my grandmother, we weren't going to be allowed in the hospital. We asked if we could video chat her, and everyone could say a little something. We gathered as a family, we prayed. But the fact that she was alone, it just breaks my heart.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
They put their blood, sweat, and tears into raising prized livestock. So News 3 Now's not letting this year's county fair cancellations spoil the show. 4-H kids step into the ring for our blue ribbon judges during Fair Week on the next Live at 4. Learning pods may help students with remote schooling, but what about kids who don't have access?
Being presented with even more challenges to the upcoming school year.
Will pods widen the achievement gap? On the next News 3 Now this morning. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blain's Farm and Fleet.
But the video game industry is doing quite well through the pandemic. Diane King Hall has your Money Watch report.
The Dow rallied in early trade after Russia said it has a coronavirus vaccine. Investors also cheered the idea of a potential tax cut on our shores. President Trump says he is weighing the idea of a tax cut for middle-income earners, as well as a reduction in capital gains taxes. A measure of inflation rose last month at the fastest clip since October of 2018. According to the Labor Department, the producer price index increased 0.6%. Prices rose in July as energy costs surged. Keep in mind, PPI measures prices before they reach the consumer, and prices are still lower on an annual basis. On the earnings front, Marriott reported its worst loss ever yesterday. The hotel chain operator says it lost $234 million in its second quarter. While it has reopened 91% of its hotels, bookings have been ravaged by the coronavirus as travelers hold off on hotel stays. Marriott was optimistic, though, saying it expects demand to improve through Labor Day. And let the indoor games continue. The video gaming industry is breaking its own records during the pandemic. Analysts say that Americans spent $11.6 billion in the second quarter, the most in the industry's history. Gaming content accounted for the bulk of the spending, with titles like Animal Crossing and Call of Duty leading the way. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 282 points. The NASDAQ up 1 1/4. The S&P 500 up almost 15. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yaki on this beautiful Tuesday.
Oh, beautiful after all that craziness last night. And we're still talking about that as far as agriculture is concerned, not just around the Channel 3 viewing area, but on a bigger scope. I was talking with a commodity broker earlier this morning, John Heinberg from West Bend. He said that he's been talking to farms from western Iowa all the way across to Iowa, obviously southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, all the way into Indiana. Crops have been flattened. Areas where they've got the Wisconsin Livestock Expo going on down in Racine County Fairgrounds in Union Grove. They picked up over 3 inches of rain, so a lot of damage that was done to our crops. Hopefully they'll rebound. One item he brought up to me that I had not thought about is that some of the grain elevators and grain storage facilities that were in the line of those straight line winds, which he called basically a hurricane on land, got either taken down or definitely damaged. You know, this is awfully close to the harvest season to lose that kind of valuable storage. Tomorrow we're going to get the World Ag Supply Demand Report out, and we expect that the numbers are going to be big because everybody's been enjoying pretty good weather. And with that much crop coming in, it's got to go somewhere. So if you're a farmer that's been thinking about, hey, I might want to store this, I might want to store it off the farm, you better be talking to your grain elevator and find out if they're going to have room for it. Because like I said, on a region-by-region basis, that storm yesterday could have knocked out a lot of the valuable storage that a lot of farmers would otherwise be depending on. So we got to kind of keep an eye on what's going on there. Like I said, 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, everything's going to come home to roost. World Ag Supply Demand Report will be the first poke the government makes at estimating how big the crop is, and then we'll have our Wisconsin numbers, too, to see how our crops are looking compared to previous years. All right. On the close today in Chicago, barrel cheese dropped another 3.5 cents at $1.44.5 on 3 trades. 40-pound block cheese down a nickel on Tuesday to $1.58, again on 3 trades. But AA butter turned the corner, up 4.5 cents today, Mark, at $1.52 with 2 trades. So there we go. A little brighter spot for the dairy segment this morning. But boy, that storm last night was that was crazy. Oh, depending on where you were, really isolated damage.
Yeah, here in Madison, we just got a little rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends where you were. You're right. Thank you, Pam. Here's Chris Reese with more on where you were, depending on the storm.
Yeah, seriously. Most of the wind energy that was associated with this happened towards the south. Still, winds got gusty here in the Madison area. I went home and my plants were blown over. My deck furniture was blown around, so things certainly were breezy. But the worst of the weather was well towards the south of Madison. In fact, I'm focused in on Lake Geneva. This is where the National Weather Service in Milwaukee actively has a crew right now surveying some of the damage. and they have found that at least an EF0 with winds of 80 miles per hour did touch down throughout parts of Lake Geneva. There's been a lot of wind damage there, but also they're going to be watching just north of Union Grove to see if there was a tornado or whether or not it was straight line winds. They're also going to be doing a damage survey just towards the south of that in parts of Racine County to see if a tornado touched down. So there were multiple spots where we certainly saw the damage, but sometimes it's very clear to tell whether or not this was a tornado or whether or not it was damaging winds. And they are certainly going to be surveying that to give us the answer. But high-resolution Doppler is much more relaxed this afternoon due to high pressure that is in control. The reality is most of the upper Midwest is free of showers and thunderstorms. There is a chance to see some strong thunderstorms back towards the west over parts of the high plains, then right on the front range of the Rockies. But for us, overall, it is high pressure that is in control. I like to say it all the time, so I'm going to say it. When you see the blue H, think blue skies. That's what we're going to be dealing with as we go through the rest of this afternoon. That front that really brought the showers and thunderstorms yesterday, that's still pushing down towards the south and east. But here's a live look over the Memorial Union Terrace right now. Just absolutely beautiful out there. 78's our temperature, so it feels good. Winds coming out of the north and northeast at about 3 miles per hour. Dew points are down into the 50s too. So yesterday, you know, I laughed. One of my friends sent me a text and he said the humidity is so thick I feel like I can't breathe. Well, today is a much different story. You are going to be able to get a breath of fresh air as you step outside. 79 in Janesville right now. Boscoville coming in at 80 degrees, 76 in Platteville. We'll all see these temperatures warm up into the upper 70s and low 80s for highs this afternoon. I'm stopping the clock at 4:30. This is typically the warmest part of the day around here, and you see that high temperature right around 80 to 82 degrees. Overnight tonight, we're going to be cooling down into the upper 50s for all of us. Then tomorrow, we're going to do it again. Temperatures will be into the lower 80s. We'll see more sunshine into tomorrow afternoon. Then by Thursday, we might get a little bit more cloud cover and a small chance to see a shower towards the west, but I'm truly expecting everyone to be dry. Best chance of rain comes our direction into the weekend. That's also when our temperatures will likely be at their warmest before a cold front comes in. We're talking cooler temperatures setting up shop as we move into that extended forecast. In fact, there's a probability of seeing below normal temperatures across the upper Midwest. Average is 82. We're talking potentially going down into the 70s. And if the trends continue the way they're going, Mark, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, I may have to bring those numbers down even more. I'd be happy to do it.
Yes, please do.
We'll see if we can figure that out. Everyone, you know, we all had an expensive AC bill in July, so let's save ourselves some money here. But yes, but the best storm chances will be this weekend.
All right, thank you, Chris. Next at noon, Dr. Jim Orvik from the Oregon Vet Clinic is here to answer your questions about your pet's health. The number to call 270-9933. We'll get your calls right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
If a physical or emotional condition keeps you from working, Social Security should pay disability benefits. Often it doesn't, and deserving people are denied. I'm attorney Don Becker. Don't give up. In Wisconsin, we've turned thousands of disability denials into approvals. Disability law is all we do.
Call the Becker Law Office, 1-800-254-7766.
Today we're facing a serious threat. We have to meet it as one country. Numbers don't lie. Infection rates are now going up in more states than they're going down. We got to fight this together. Wear a mask. Keep your distance. Limit the size of crowds. It may be inconvenient. It may be uncomfortable, but it's the right thing to do as an American. We need a president who will level with the American people. President will tell us the unvarnished truth. President will take responsibility instead of always blaming others. President will listen to the experts, follow the science, allow them to speak. President will lead, be an example for the nation. We have to do all we can to keep our fellow Americans safe and healthy. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Wouldn't it be nice to not have to deal with your messy gutters anymore? Leave that nasty chore in the rearview mirror with a new Leaf Guard gutter system. Hi, I'm Andrew Larson, owner of Larson Home Services. My team would love to show you how Leaf Guard's patented design keeps leaves and debris out so you can give up cleaning your gutters forever. And now is the best time to get Leaf Guard. Order now and save 75% on installation labor, free financing for a year, and a $100 Visa gift card. Call to set up your free estimate today.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry. With honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. RHD Plumbing now offers complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling, the best plumbers, and everything else you need to finish your dream project. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time with no surprises. With the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proudly serving all of Dane County.
Dr. Jim Orvik from the Oregon Vet Clinic is here taking your calls, 270-9933. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Good. We're doing well. Let's start with Gina in Cottage Grove. Hi, Gina. What's your question?
Hi. I have a cat that seems to have a constipation problem no matter how hard I try to get her over it. I have her on a mix of wet and dry food, and I have her hydrated really well, but she still seems to have a problem. I don't know if she's holding it in or what her deal is, but maybe you can help me figure it out.
Well, yes. Constipation in cats can be quite a significant problem once in a while. Now, people use the cat laxative for hairballs all the time, and that's the place to start. But beyond that, some cats have a lack of motility of their rectums, and they need special medications. And a couple of times I've had to remove the rectums of cats that couldn't poop. But this cat, I'm sure, is a long ways from that. So if you haven't tried hairball medicine, I would do that first.
Okay, she does get hairball medicine every other day because I brush her.
Okay, how much do you give her?
Well, I give her that Vaseline stuff that comes out of the tube, so I just put like maybe a ½ inch on my finger and rub it on her paw every other day.
I would give her like 3-4 inches at least.
Okay. Unfortunately,
every other day.
All right. Unfortunately, we are out of time. We had a little difficulty here, so we're out of time. Jim, thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
Here's Chris with one final check of your forecast.
Sunshine continues all afternoon long. Look at that blue sky behind me. That's how things are going to look for us. Temperatures top out at 82 degrees today, 83 tomorrow. More storm chances by the weekend.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
What do you want to see in a new police chief? What does an inclusive economy look like to you? Are you looking for new voices? The Madison chapter of the Local Voices Network is offering conversation opportunities on all of these. For 4 consecutive Wednesdays, beginning this week, LVN is hosting small group facilitated conversations to collect public input on what we should be looking for in a new police chief. Next Monday, Downtown Madison Incorporated members are invited to join in a conversation on imagining an inclusive economy. And a podcast of the first listening party by staff from LVN founder Cortico is available now. We're big fans of LVN and the incredibly important work they're doing around civic dialogue and listening. This is so needed right now. You can learn more and register to participate at lvn.org. We recommend you do so.